Hey, everybody. I'm Amanda Worthington, and I'm here reading a poem for you today for the Ladies of Horror little poetry prompts. And this one is called "O Brave New World That Has Such People in It," which, if there are any Shakespeare buffs out there, you probably know comes from The Tempest. So, without further ado, the god in her massages her brain, and she tries not to faint. The glasses she wears came from a corpse she encountered in an abandoned library. She had brown skin, like hers. She does not know her own name, but the dead woman was called Miranda. It was emblazoned on the badge she wore like a cipher, and it felt powerful, like it alone could keep the tempest at bay. And so she wears it like armor as she ascends the pulpit, not quite knowing what she'll say. She prepares to read, and they listen, faces upturned, eager to receive the ghost that springs suddenly to life in the rich dark of her eyes. The assembled crowd blurs before her. She feels them shift uneasily as she begins. We are stories in the end. Our truths are stitched into our skin, bind our pages. Your gods within will soon awaken. They will rage drunkenly until they settle into the rhythm of you, their new hosts. You will remember then the days of sun and how the ash darkened our skies and how the first ones ate it in handfuls, hoping maybe it would revive them, knowing as they did what it really was. Less fortunate bodies reduced. You must be prepared to consume flesh this time before it is dust. And when you do, you must trust in the power of the act. Vow that you will remember the form your meal last took. Promise to speak the departed story every day. And you must not ask what I am. I'm afraid I ask the only questions here. Here's my final one. Will you be saved? The promised land beckons to the brave, but the price of entry isn't a thing every soul can afford. She turns then to a fair woman who is blanched noticeably, the pink receding from her cheeks like a tide that only ebbs, recedes, retreats forever. Several women nod. They are the hard kind who will outlast the men she knows. Some of these darker, larger shapes draw knives in hunger, but they are fewer than she'd imagined. And when Miranda steps down, she feels shaky, falls to the earth, struggles to rise, and wonders at the looks on the faces of those who had drunk the god's sermon down like communion. The blonde woman reaches a hand down, helps the fallen child to her feet, kneels to her height. You're so young. None of this is right. She goes on and fades into the shadows, and the night rushes in to fill the void her passing leaves. And it is blessedly quiet, and the girl thinks only of sleep. Thanks for listening.